Hi everybody. I've been busy working on some new journals using sewing tissue as my cover. I know you guys had some questions after my July journal flip through on how I bound them and put them together, so I'll share some about that. I'll start with this one, which is most like my July journal in that it has 3 signatures sewn in with my machine. Each signature has about 4 pages per signature. I thought with this weight of paper that would be about right for 3 signatures. As you can see, I just stitched right down the middle of the signature with my machine. Same with this signature. A little different, I stitched this little label into the signature. Same with this one. Just stitched right down the center. And I'll share more about these journals, or share a flip through of these journals when I'm finished. These two are different. They just have one signature, and also different in that I put under the first layer of tissue here, I put a paper napkin, and I really like how that shows through. This one also has some batting between 2 pieces of cotton and then the tissue over that. So it gives this quilted effect. And this one, the same thing. I just stitched the signature with my machine. You can see there with the black thread. A happy accident with this one too. I was stitching on this side. When I turned it over, I realized that this first layer had turned in right here. And so I could have stitched that down, just gone over it again, but I decided to leave it. It makes a nice pocket. I like the sheerness of it. Although to make it more, give it more strength, I might cut another layer of tissue to make it 2 layers, and it might be a little more sturdy that way. This one, actually, I haven't done a thing to these. This has about 6 or 7 pages for the signature. Like I said, I'll be back to share more about that. This one only has a thin piece of cotton between the tissue. And then, of course, I did the same thing where I put a piece of collage paper behind this first piece of tissue so it shows through. I really like that. And then, again, just about 6 or so pages. The difference with this one, too, I did a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which you can certainly do just as well as using your machine. Both kinds work very well, whichever you prefer. And this one is a little different, where I used the Tim Holtz tissue wrap, and it's sturdy enough to where it's only 1 piece on front, 1 piece on the inside with some fabric between. I just added a butterfly, a little piece of jewelry, and a pearl dangle on the front. Did some collage paper on the inside and a little snippet right there. This one I shared on Instagram and haven't done anything more than what I showed on Instagram. I added a bag, a sheer bag, like I did on my last journal, that flips up. There's a little tuck spot right there. And another little tuck spot there. Right here, we got a little pocket with a tag. And that's it, you guys. That's all I've done. But I will be back to share when it's finished. I made some envelopes. This one is just a piece of the collage paper with 1 piece of tissue on each side. And that's just sandwiched between so that you can see it front and back that way. And it was just a long strip that I folded up to create my little envelope there, and then just stitched around, added some lace and a button onto there, onto the flap. This one is only tissue. I think it's like at least 8 pieces. No, I don't think it's that many. I don't know. It's like several layers of tissue. And then same idea where I just folded this up and then stitched around to create my envelope there. I layered some tissue and a little piece of fabric just for some interest there. And on the back, I did the same thing as what I did in my July journal, where I cut a couple layers of the tissue out to create that pocket in the back. I like this one. And then this one, I just used two pieces of the tissue wrap and just put them, you know, wrong sides together. I stitched this first, then folded it up and stitched around to create my envelope. And then just, it's male themed, so I added just a little bit of male, just a little piece there of ephemera and some lace and stuff. And I like that one. Okay, you guys, so what I've done for these and this one is I've taken 6 pieces of tissue and just, I didn't even cut them perfectly. They're just kind of irregular in the way I cut them, which I don't care. I like it that way. And with these, I just put some collage paper under the first piece like this. And if you were to add some fabric to this, I usually put the fabric, okay, like 3, and then stick the fabric, and then you got 3. So you can do that. You can use a thin piece of muslin, and that's what this one is like. You could use felt, which is a lot thicker. And it really gives it that feel like the quilted effect on this one. It feels the same. I like that. You could put a piece of lace. Let me just scoop this up. A piece of lace under the first piece, which I really like. I think though, you know what I'll do is put my fabric underneath the lace. You get the idea? Just like that. And I like that. Yeah, I like that. So then I will just, I'll get it the way I want. I'll position it the way I want and then stitch around. And then to bind it, of course, you can do either kind of binding that I showed. Either one works great, whatever your preference is. If you like these not cut irregular, you could always cut them all the same. I kind of like them irregular. You get this, you know, kind of messy, tattered effect. And I really like that. So that's it, guys. I will be back. Oh, first, let me show you. Okay, so I made an envelope, a tiny one of my little envelopes that I just shared with you, and glued it in to this front cover. And I really like how it came out. I think you can see that. Just added a little tag in there. Just added some lace to the flap. And you can see it's just like this one, only smaller. And that's it, you guys. I'll be showing a little bit more of this. I use that for a tuck spot. A little leaf. Like to add my pressed flowers and leaves. Lots of lace. But I'll be back to show more. This needs more work. All of them do, obviously. So I will be back, you guys, to share more when they're all done, which most likely will be after Christmas. So I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next year. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.